my my mother for keeping me on my toes, and my father for always, excuse me, everybody, in raising me to who I am today. My mother for keeping me on my toes, and my father for always for always pushing me. I'd like to thank my sister Chloe for the steadfast bond that we have had over the years, and to all of my peers for their tireless friendship we have shared throughout high school. All this unconditional support has made a difference in my life these past 4 years. A message that I want to emphasize to my fellow Cleveland graduates is that you may feel much has been taken from you these past few months. And I want you to look at it as an opportunity to choose what you allow back into your routine. Maybe shake some bad habits and replace them with more productive ones that will accelerate the way you learn and approach the upcoming challenges adulthood will be thrown at you for the rest of your life. The phrase "I don't know" has power to it. When you simply admit ignorance, you are simply asking to learn. Take a minute to ask questions as the years go on. You may have winged it these past 4 years, like myself, but it sure is going to be a lot tougher to wing your next 40. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Eric. As you can tell by the speech, I had no idea I was going to be up here speaking to you until recently. This changed the layout of graduation for me personally. For my 18 years of being alive on this planet, I've always been scared of change. And every time something changed in my life, I'd always focus solely on the negative aspects of it. It would drag me down and expose me to a multitude of negative thoughts. For example, moving, with packing and unpacking my possessions, or just even having a conversation with the fear of being judged or being ignored. Where was I at? Sorry, I lost my place. Despite these rough patches in life, change is not always a symbol for something that's unexpected and tragic. It can also develop your character for the better if you allow it to. The one thing I've realized about these 4 years of my high school career is my perspective with change is that I can focus on the positive aspects of change as opposed to the negative aspects. Even if we cannot manipulate the results of change, we can certainly adapt to them for a better outlook on the world. Change always has the ability to be positive for you in the end. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Long time no see. My name is Samantha Beatty, for those who may not know, and I'm so excited to see everyone here tonight. I think we can all agree that the last few months have been a crazy mess, but I am so thankful to be standing before you today. I want to show my appreciation to the school board and faculty members who have done everything to make sure we safely receive the graduation ceremony we have worked so hard for. I am so thankful for the teachers I've been blessed with over the course of my education, who taught me not only history and math lessons, but endless life lessons as well. I want to thank my best friend Sammy and all of my closest friends who have poured their hearts into mine and carried me through my darker days. Life would be so dull without you, and I love you all so very much. Last but never least, I want to thank my parents for quite literally everything, for not only never giving up on me, but never letting me give up on myself. When I was in the 3rd grade, I decided I was going to be valedictorian of my class. I was not fully certain what the word meant, but I knew it sounded special. From that day on, being valedictorian was my main goal. I worked hard, but some days I had to work harder than others. On days I was tired of the work and wanted to give up, my parents would remind me of my lifelong goal and how close I was to achieving it. They always pushed me to keep going and offered endless support along the way. They're the reason I am standing here today. And to my fellow graduates, congratulations. We have been through so much unexpected change throughout the last few months, and the fact that you are sitting here today is something you should be proud of. As we part ways and begin our journeys on our own paths of life, I would like to leave you with one of my favorite sayings. You'll never see the stars without a little darkness, and you'll never grow any flowers without a little rain. Sometimes the most beautiful things can come from times of darkness and trouble. It is important to remember to keep going, keep pushing, and keep working on whatever you choose to do. Life will take you to unexpected places and put you through unexpected trials, but these moments of difficulty will make all the good times shine a little brighter. Thank you.
Good evening. You guys don't know me by now. My name's Colson. And graduating high school means that we have a lot of big decisions coming up. Are we going to college, buying a house, car, or renting an apartment? Are we making money while also working an enjoyable job that we like? All these decisions and choices can lead up to a lot of payments that are independent on your income. During times like these, a lot of people have lost their jobs and do not have income coming into their household. However, they still have car payments that need to be paid, house payments, food, and many other things. Hopefully for the class of 2020, you guys are all smart and patient with your money decisions. Don't go out on your own in the real world buying very expensive cars. Get the used one that is drastically cheaper and does the same thing, and that's drive you places. If something like this outbreak were to ever happen again and you got laid off from your job, you won't have that $1,200 car payment to make, rather than you have a fully paid off card. If possible, stay out of debt. Don't run around on your own making reckless money decisions. Always have backup plans and be prepared for the worst to happen so you aren't hitting rock bottom. That being said, peace out.
Not much of a speech man, so hang with me. First, I'd like to thank my parents for always just pushing me to be myself and do what makes me happy. And mine's not very formal. It's more of just me talking to them. But over the next few months and the next few years, every choice that we make will have an extremely large impact on our lives. It sounds scary, but in reality, every choice we've ever made has made a large impact on our life. I mean, every little decision you've ever made led you to where you're sitting right now. Guys. And whenever you're making these important decisions, I think that you should make the decision that makes you happy. I mean, what's the point in making a decision whenever you're not going to be happy? Don't choose to do something for the sole purpose of maybe I should do this. Just make decisions based on, is this going to make me happy? And will this better my life? Don't live life trying to please others because you can't please everyone. No matter what you do, you'll never be perfect to everyone. The only opinions that you should truly be worried about are your own, the opinion of God Himself, and that's pretty much it. Choose to live for your own happiness. In the way of God's will, you'll be just fine. And as the great Bill S. Preston, Esquire, and Ted Theodore Logan once said, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
My name is Jake Hyatt, and first of all, I want to thank my sisters for their inspiration on this speech. We constantly grew up playing board games, and one of their favorites was the game of life. In the game of life, you get choices: college or career, kids or no kids. You choose your job, your salary, your home, your vehicle, and sadly enough, your gender. It's all about choices and fate. The thing is, as we approach the real world, we realize it's not a game, it's the real deal. The choices we make will have a lasting impact on our lives and even the lives of others. Some choices might be bad. When that happens, don't let those choices define you. Instead, rise up, learn, and move on. Some choices will be good. Celebrate those choices and make those into habits. Whatever your choices are, as we enter into our own game of life, make them count. And remember, it's okay to roll the dice and take a chance. Oh wait, that's Monopoly. Whatever your game moves are, play fair and finish strong. And if all else fails, flip the board.
Hello, my name is Kinsey Jean Ingram. Like many of you, I've had a surplus of time on my hands, and I found myself binging a lot of shows. Most recently, I rewatched a childhood favorite of mine, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'd like to share with you one of the biggest lessons within the show that's relevant to all of us, especially at this point in our life: the search for our destiny, our path. In the show, Uncle Iroh spends a lot of his time guiding his nephew Zuko to his own destiny, not the destiny his father created. So often, we find ourselves doing things we are trying to fill others' expectations, even if we do not realize it. We may even convince ourselves. Hello? Okay. We may even convince ourselves that is what we want. I know I don't want to let the people I respect and admire down, and this pressure I put on myself to please everyone. The thought of disappointing those that love me hurts, but the biggest thing I've learned is that whatever you decide to do, the biggest thing I've learned is that whatever you decide to do, if you're happy, those that truly love you will stand with you and support you. When making decisions towards your future, remember that your path is truly your own, and no one can write it for you. I want you to go and be the person you want to be and do what you want to do. Nothing is written in stone, and it's up to you to decide what your destiny is. As Uncle Iroh put it, time for you to look inward and start asking yourself the big question: who are you and what do you want? Thank you. If you don't know me, my name is Kinsey Lester, and this evening I would like to take a moment to acknowledge my family, friends, as well as the faculty and staff for helping me get here today. This long-awaited moment would not be the same without any one of you. I believe that there's a world before crisis and a world after. Obviously, everyone's crisis has been different, but no matter the difficulty, no matter how unprepared we were, we did it. After the past 3.5 months of uncertainty and grief, we made it. Whether the struggle was with being socially distant, fearful, sick, or just thinking we wouldn't get to graduate, here we are. The class of 2020 is going to be a part of history forever. But what now? We're going to split. Our lives as adults will always be unpredictable and will almost always be unprepared. If you go straight back into school or fall into a life of work, there will be difficulties. But we can do it. And we can do it. Or we will do it. Whatever. Okay. I have confidence that the Lord has a path for everyone, and for some reason this is what was supposed to happen. With whatever comes next, I wish you all the best. I will forever be thankful for and remember the Cleveland High School class of 2020 for the grace and patience shown during this time. After feeling incomplete for so long, good things come to those who wait. So, here's to the after crisis and making a difference in the way we handle the next one. Congratulations, and thank you.
Hello, I'm Blaze Miller. Thanks for being here. This has been a very odd last year of high school, and whereas we weren't able to actually attend our lessons, there were some things we learned from our time at home. Many people better learned how to manage their time at home. Some learned how to be more productive while they're at home, and some learned how boring it could be to be at home for long periods of time. These are all lessons we can take with us into the future, especially when we're making our professional and personal lives. Now here's to starting those lives. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Good evening. I'm Jana Sheet, and as I think back on all the times I've spoken in front of my classmates during pep assemblies and school events, nothing compares to this time because I know it's a goodbye for many of us. I have attended Cleveland Public Schools my entire life. We have all grown up together and made friends that will last a lifetime. Remember when we embedded our handprints in stone just to surprise mom and dad? Or when we came home, excited from school, telling them about how we won in tetherball at recess, thinking we were on top of the world? Remember when we used to count down the years until graduation? I never thought time would fly by this fast. I want to thank my parents and grandparents for the guidance and wisdom throughout my high school years that allowed me to grow and become independent. They trusted me when I needed trust the most. I want to thank my teachers for working around the clock when I was struggling. I want to thank one teacher in particular who has gone above and beyond for me the most. Miss Hamilton has always been there when I needed her. She has coached me in cheer, written recommendation letters on a moment's notice, and dealt with my never-ending calculus questions and complaints. Now, to the underclassmen. If you ask me what it meant to be a Tiger, personally, it was pure hard work and dedication towards balancing my spiritual, athletic, and academic goals, which at times was very challenging. So, after being given the privilege to cheer for my hometown, I would like to say to everyone in the stands and on the field, one last time, go Tigers!
Hello, my name is Kendra Sissom. Good evening, friends, family, teachers, and administrators. I wanted to start off by thanking a few people. First, I want to thank everybody who can make it tonight. You are here because in some way you have helped one of us graduates to where we are today. Second, I want to thank my family for teaching me to always keep my head high no matter what life throws at you, and for always pushing me to be the best version of myself. I want to thank Hunter and the real ones for becoming my best friends and sticking by my side for the past 2 years. I want to thank Miss Hamilton and Coach Rhodes for inspiring me to pursue a career in teaching math. I also especially want to thank Mr. MacArthur and Dr. Baker for allowing us to have a graduation at all. I wanted to focus today on our pasts because after this ceremony, the only thing we will be thinking about is our futures. I can remember us all competing with each other for Fax Masters in intermediate school, even though the shirts they gave us for completing each level were always too big. I remember us playing each other in Little League, whether it be basketball, baseball, softball, football, or soccer. Every Friday in intermediate school, we would find any loose change we had to buy one of the best suckers we had ever tasted. I remember in middle school when some of the boys danced Hawaiian style during the talent show our 8th grade year. I remember in primary school when we would try and coerce our parents to give us money for the book fair, but we only ever ended up buying toys. I remember at the middle school dances when we would all get in a big circle to show off our moves, but ultimately the best one was always Jacob doing the worm. In intermediate school, we would spend days trying to figure out which design was the coolest, but could also withstand the dreaded egg drop. Lastly, 12 years ago, we were all standing in much smaller caps and gowns, hopeful for what the future would bring. Dr. Seuss once said, "Sometimes you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." So, for the class of 2020, whether you move out of this town or this state, whether you go on to college, go to work, or go to serve our nation, I encourage you to carry the memories that you have made here at CHS with you for the rest of your lives. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lacey Sizemore, and I have a question. What if 2020 isn't? What if 2020 is the year we have all been waiting for? A year so unexpected to the things we never thought possible in our small town. So painful, so scary, so raw, that it finally forces us to grow. A year that screams so loud, finally awakening us from our ignorant slumber and forcing us to grow spiritually. A year we finally accept the need for change, declare change, work for change, so we can finally become the change we want to see in the world. A year we finally come together instead of pushing each other further apart. I look around at the class of 2020 and to the friends and family members in attendance today, and I wonder about a world telling us to keep our distance, if instead we come together in order to successfully get through this. 2020 isn't canceled, but rather the most important year of them all. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Mr. Baker, members of the Board of Education, having successfully completed all requirements set forth by the state of Oklahoma and the Cleveland Board of Education, I would like to present these seniors to you.
How exciting is it tonight? What a beautiful night. On behalf of the Board of Education, it gives me great pleasure as the superintendent of Cleveland Public Schools to commend this class of 2020 for having met all state and local graduation requirements, and by doing so, they are eligible to receive the Oklahoma High School Diploma. Class of 2020, let me congratulate you for this accomplishment and wish you the very best as we begin this new chapter in your life. At this time, I'd like to finally ask the class of 2020 to come forward and receive your diploma.
Matthew Eric Allmeyer. Michael Wayne Barnett. Samantha Ray Beatty. Hannah Lou Nicole Belmer. Seth Tyler Bevel. Dylan Talon Bishop. Kaylin Michelle Blatchford. Chasey Denise Lee Brink. Dylan Blaine Brown. Madeline Nicole Brown. Morgan Elaine Brown. Bryce Eric Bunton. Hayden Scott Bunton. Ashley Elizabeth Burleson. Cade Walker Campbell. Brendan Scott Casebolt. Keegan Frederick Chapman. Colson Paul Cheek. Timothy Shane Childress. Cyrus W. Christensen. Samantha Jean Clark. Skylar Mitchell Clark. Emily Elizabeth Cooper. Seth Andrew Davidson. Luis E. Delgado. Giuliani Esparza Mesa. Hunter K. Frazier. Alexis Brianna Gill. Wiley Allen Griffith. Sarah Leanne Gwynn. Madison Joy Hamilton. Timber K. Hammond. Caden Ray Hanna. Alexis Marie Harold. Haley Marie Harold. Alexi Nicole Hastings. Jake Andrew Hyatt. Tiffany Deanne Hilton. Gage Hayden Hoggett. Luke Henry Hollowell. Brittany Renee Hughes. Kenzie Jean Ingram. Noah Luke James. Tyler James Johnson. Justin Kendrick Keeler. Michelle Dawn Kennedy. Cameron Nicole King. Cathadas LeBoy. Annika Isabel Langer. Cecilia Nicolette Langer. Jacqueline Renee Larkins. Kenzie Nicole Lester. Brandon A. Alexander Love. Ethan Ryan McCullough. Rayanne Crank. Ashley Jean McFarland. Riley Rochelle Merriman. Blaze Hunter Miller. Jonathan Wade Mitchell. Miranda Nicole Monig. Stephanie Munez. Luke Andrew Nelson. Cassie Lynn Newman. Thomas Edward Patterson. Kelly Perry Kestner. Callista Gail Price. How are you doing, Katie? Hayden Lee Reddy. Janessa Taryn Reed. Jacob Michael Schwenker. Jana Paige Sheets. Bailey Jean Shelton. Brandon Wayne Simpson. Kendra Suzanne Sissom. Lacey Leona Sizemore. Jacob A. Smith. Noah Austin Smith. Ross Edward Soul II. Jaden Ray Statch. Aliciana Marie Staley. Skylar Stewart. Shelby Ray Stokes. Jeffrey Miles Taylor. Lehigh Tao. Tia Yvette Theory. Jaden Nicole Thomason. Isla Mae Thornton. Nerea Tikas. Virginia Ray Timmons. Brittany Lynn Upshaw. Annie Diane Webb. Aspen Carrie Wells. Eric West. James Dilbert Wilson. Cherry Marie Wynn. Lorelei Grace Wynn.
Seniors, please stand. It is my pleasure to present to you the Cleveland High School graduating class of 2020. Seniors, you may now move your tassels to the other side and then throw your caps. Class officers, at this time, can you come down and lead your class one last time in the alma mater? Good job, guys. Could everyone please remain at their seats while the senior class of 2020 exits the stadium at this time? Thank you, everyone, for attending. Just a few, I know you guys are listening and doing other things. Pictures have been taken.